Sarah.
All right, joining me now, Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer, a member of the House Intelligence Committee, and he's running for governor in New Jersey. He's also the ranking member of the National Security Agency and Cyber Subcommittee, which oversees the NSA. We will get to your expertise there in 1 second. I do want to ask you about this breaking news. The trade war is officially on. China is hitting back, saying it is imposing a 34% tariff to match the U.S. tariffs that Donald Trump imposed. What do you say to Americans now that we are officially in this big trade war?
As you point out, the trade war has begun, and it will have a huge and direct impact on American families. Right? I mean, this is not one of these things that is a threat. Now it's real, and you're talking about a $3,800 a year hit on families from these across-the-board tariffs, and that's just not on what they're going to pay for everything from cheese to coffee to cars to clothing, but it's also it's already affecting, as we saw with the markets, affecting their savings, right? Their retirement accounts, a huge hit on those. So at a time when we're trying to get costs down, it's what I focus on every day, like getting costs and taxes lower. This is actually going to, and President Trump, who ran on actually making life more affordable, this is going to do just the opposite, right? It's going to make their lives more expensive, and it's why a few of us are put up a discharge petition next week to try to get rid of the Canadian tariffs that are in place, but also to demand from President Trump, what are you doing what's this chaos all about? You got to actually have a strategy, not just go out there and intentionally cause a trade war.
I want to talk to you about what President Trump and Vice President Vance has said. We have just had, as you just mentioned, one of the worst days for stock markets since March of 2020, which was, of course, the month the entire country began shutting down because of COVID-19. The tariffs show that the Dow closed down about 4%, the NASDAQ 6%, but the president and vice president say, don't worry, it's all going to be okay. Take a listen.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation like when a patient gets operated on. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom.
We're going to have a booming stock market for a long time.
Do you think that President Trump and Vice President Vance are right, that in the long run, this will bring back jobs and manufacturing to the U.S., but it will hurt just for a bit?
I mean, I don't know. All you have to do is look at the economists who were, the Fed chair called this tariff inflation. Everyone from Goldman Sachs, Moody's calling it a recession, J.P. Morgan, Chase saying it's going to cause a recession. And there's already been layoffs announced in the United States because of these tariffs. So I don't know what kind of strategy it is to intentionally cause a recession, cause layoffs here at home, and hurt families directly with this new tax. So I don't know if long term, but there's not. The economists I talk to say there's no long term light on this situation. Right now, there's a lot of darkness for a lot of Americans, and we're seeing it literally in real time. And listen, I'm just concerned about people being able to pay their bills and be able to afford life. And this is going to be a huge tax on hardworking families at a time where we've got to try to do everything we can to make life more affordable for them. And that's, of course, what I've been focused on for years and continue to be focused on. How do we get costs down, not intentionally ruin their savings and their retirement accounts and cause price hikes across our country?
What's it like to take IShowSpeed around Chongqing for one day? We started deep underground to avoid attention, but the moment we surfaced, the city went full World War Z. Then I took him to the most confusing square in Chongqing. Right? Turn it around. What the fuck? It broke his brain. Next stop, the infamous train going through residential building station. The speed wasn't impressed, because in America, planes already do that. After that, we took Asia's longest escalator. We were scared. It was steep. Then came the highway bus that climbs 20 floors into the sky.
Who built this city, bro?
And of course, I let him test drive a Chinese supercar that twerks.
It's moving by itself!
As night fell, the cyber city came alive. Neon, chaos, glowing castle on cliffs. Speed was in love.
This is China, baby! Zoom out, show the whole city!
But we still ended up fighting over watermelon.
Hey! This is mine!
At the end of it all, I asked him again.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you rate this door? 10 out of 10! Nice! Tone King, 10 out of 10.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans have joined nationwide protests against President Donald Trump's trade tariffs and the radical shakeup of U.S. politics driven by his administration. Hands-off rallies have been held in all 50 states. There's growing public anger at Trump's policies as well as Elon Musk's cost-cutting campaign.
It was the largest single day of protest since President Donald Trump returned to office in January. Under the banner Hands Off, opponents of Trump's policies rallied, from critics of his economic policies to those concerned about civil rights, to climate activists in towns and cities in all 50 states, from New York's Fifth Avenue.
I feel horrible. Immigrants are getting deported. The president's so worried about 0.1% of the population, transgender people, but he doesn't care about the economy, he doesn't talk about lowering prices, inflation.
To Charlotte, North Carolina,